moving on to procedural rights. Again, procedure is what are the protections surrounding the planning process? What kind of rights does the parent have in this process? Clear offer of FAPE. So when the IEP is written, it has to be clear and understandable. We often talk about, if a stranger picked it up, would they understand what the child's getting? Because it all relates back to kind of the parent's involvement in this process and their ability to consent to the IEP. Because an IEP can't be implemented, at least in California, unless the parent consents to it. Well, how can a parent consent to an IEP if nobody can understand it? It has to be clear. It has to be understandable. So, sometimes I've seen things like the speech services are between half an hour to an hour a week, depending on, the child's ability to attend or something like that. Well, that's not really specific, because how do we know if he or she's going to get a half an hour or an hour? And who makes the determination of whether the child, is able to take that service or not? It's just too wishy-washy. It's hard for a parent to say, yeah, I think that's appropriate for my child, when they don't know what they're getting. So it has to be clear. Sent to the IEP. As I mentioned before, a parent has the right to consent to an IEP, and in California, that IEP cannot be implemented unless the parent does consent. So if you have a new IEP and the parent doesn't consent to that new IEP, basically the old IEP is the governing document, and that's what the district has to follow. The parent can also consent to part of the IEP. So maybe they like, all of the goals and the services except one service has been removed. Speech language has been removed, and the parent disagrees with removal of the speech language. So that means the school would implement everything. They would implement the new IEP with the exception of no speech, which means you go back to the old IEP, which has speech. So a parent can consent to portions of the IEP. Those portions of the IEP have to be implemented.
Sign up for our newsletter at iepsolution.com for more upcoming IEP Tips to Equip webinars, live workshops, and boot camps that will go into this topic and other topics in special education in much more detail. Thank you for watching this IEP Tips to Equip webinar.